Welcome to the next episode of Kingdom Business Conversations. Today we have with us Josh and Brandy Hommes with Branjo Brands. Just excited to have them. Welcome. Excited to have you guys. This is Josh and Brandy Hommes. Close friends of mine, just incredibly awesome people. 8 kids.
8 kids.
Hallelujah, right? You know? And just really excited to have you guys here. So if you want to just start out with just kind of share the story of how you guys ended up starting a business.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, was sharing with most of you guys coming in today, worked about 23 years in broadcasting. It's all I knew. And so anything technology-based, anything like that, that was right up my alley. Well, sort of left the position I was in, and we were sort of praying about some different things. And moving back to Pensacola. We're living in North Alabama at this time, so we're praying about moving back to Pensacola, Florida. And I'm just like, no problem. We're going to apply for jobs, and I'm going to get a job. Isn't that what we do? When we move, we apply. You get the job, you move, you settle. Everything's great. I put out over 30 job applications, and nothing. It was like crickets. I'm like, okay. Jobs I knew I was, qualified for. Try connecting with people. Not a single interview, nothing. And we're just like, okay, well, if we're going to do this, because we follow the Lord in everything we do, right? So we know we're supposed to move back to Pensacola. Okay, Lord, it would be great to have some income to move with back to Pensacola. And so that's always nice. And nothing. And so we had started that LLC.
Yes.
Because we were going to start doing Amazon e-commerce. We thought we're going to come up with a line of products and we're going to do some different things. And was so busy with the job that I had till we never did that. But it was sitting there. Yeah. This sitting there is this business not doing anything. And we had named it Branjo. If you want to know why it's Branjo Brands, it's because we were going to come up with different brands of products to put on Amazon, for goodness sakes. Yeah. But anyway, I was sitting there. I was like, well, we have this LLC. We're not doing anything with it. And Brandy had been cleaning for like a decade.
We started with photography at first. So doing a little bit of photography.
What year are we in right now?
We are in 2023. 2022 is when we started, October. Okay. Yeah, 10/10/22 is when we started Branjo Brands.
Correct.
But now we're in 23 trying to move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we started out with photography. And I really wasn't into doing that all the time, but we did it to make a little money. And so one of my friends was cleaning, and I was like, well, let's just start cleaning with her. And we did that for about a month. And it just took off from there. And so we was like, maybe we just need to start a cleaning business. So we started Branjo Cleaning Services under Branjo Brands.
Right. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like this. You get in, you kind of feel the nudge of the Lord to do something, and you don't have a clue what it looks like. So naturally, you just start doing something. So we started doing photography, and it was like, okay, this is nice and all. And then the cleaning stuff come back around. And so now we're just like, well, let's do that. So we started DBAing, I guess you would say, Branjo Cleaning Services under the shell of the LLC we already had. And so, that's kind of how we fell face first. I mean, how we started a cleaning business.
Yeah. That's awesome. Now, I want you each of you to answer this question too. What has been the biggest challenge? So start with you, Josh. For you, what's been the biggest challenge with the business so far?
With the business?
Yeah, just with the business, yeah.
The biggest challenge for me was laying down everything I thought I knew about business, because I'd helped so many, in television and different things with their businesses, and I had my little piece to play. I had to lay down everything I thought I knew, because stepping into, when you own it, it's like you're not, I'm just going to say it like this, it's not like you're playing with somebody else's money at this point. Right. Now you see the money that's coming in and you're like, oh, I've really got to steward this well, because we're on a strict budget, because we're just starting. I think it was laying down everything I thought I knew to pick up what I needed to learn. And that was just truly just relying on the Lord. And it's funny, the different materials that needed to come along, the Lord would be nudging on me about something. How am I going to learn that? It's just like I would, like this podcast or this ebook or something would come to my email, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been praying about. So it's like He's been sending me the tools to learn what I needed to learn. But that's just for me, was unlearning to relearn what I needed to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for the biggest challenge for me was pricing and learning how to price jobs correctly, because in the beginning we lost a lot of money, I believe, because you're starting out and you're like, we'll just do it for whatever cost. And then you realize that this is hard work and you got to price these jobs if you're going to do it as a business and not a side hustle. And so for me, I think that was the biggest challenge, is learning the pricing. So we got coaches, paid for a coaching program to help us, learn pricing. And another challenge is finding people that actually want to do the job, right? Because it is hard work. I mean, it's not just, you go in and it's all, hunky-dory. You may get some really terrible homes that really need a good deep cleaning, and it's hard work. So finding a good team that really enjoys cleaning like I do. I mean, I do enjoy cleaning. Do I want to step away and it be an asset for us? Yes. But we have a good team right now, and I think God has really blessed us with an awesome team to do our homes.
Does it feel nice to clean without all the kids around? Is that what it is?
Sure. It's the only break I get, yes, for sure.
It's like, wow, this is fantastic to clean over here without all these kids running around messing it back up.
Yes, for sure.
No, but we definitely know that as far as learning how to price and losing money, and we've definitely been through that with a few jobs as well. Trying to figure out what works, but also at the same time, it's like, for us, a big thing is like keeping the guys busy, right? And keeping income in there. And even if the company suffers a little bit temporarily, you learn. Yeah. Right? I mean, I think that's, what do we call this? We call that paid training.
Paid training.
Paid
one way or another, you can have paid training.
Yeah, one way or another. Whether
For the beginning, but that's where you guys are going back to. You had your you paid training eventually. Like, hey, you did it one way, which was through the harder way, which is the learning lessons of that, or you kind of like what you said earlier, is like you got to a point and you realize the value of a business coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was like, and a lot of people don't necessarily even realize there's a lot of value.
Yeah.
And having somebody come alongside you to give you a different angle, a different perspective that you may not be looking at.
Yes.
That says, hey, these things are going really well, but small, minor adjustments, and you guys can get into more of a rhythm, or whatever it may be that you guys are having trouble with.
Yeah.
Well, for sure.
But that's incredible. I mean, it's a good story. I mean, honestly, for us, it's like we've had, quite a few of them. I mean, it's a good thing. Praise God, we have some people that we even have in our corner that we're like, hey, these are people we go have a conversation with at least once a month.
Yes.
And yeah, that's important. Is there, just curious if there was, you talked about the labor side too. Like, is there certain things that you guys would necessarily look for when going to hire people? Or was it something that you guys just, like, tell me a little bit more about.
So that is something else that we do have the coaching classes for, because honestly at this stage we were relying on God for who to hire and things like that, and like God has given us several people where like we know that was from God, right? And so
and we still do.
Yeah,
you have
and
to
they're our
rely on
team.
him
They're
when
our
you
core
hire
people
them.
that like they're just amazing. So we've really just relied on the Lord to tell us who to hire and not to hire right now. But we do have coaching classes to give us tips and ideas and tricks to know what to look for when you are hiring, because you want to have that as a process. So say I'm moving out from under the business, as we call it, mop free. So you want to be mop free, right? And that's our goal in December, is to be mop free for me. And so as having a manager come in, they need to know the process and what do I need to look for when I'm hiring somebody. So it is something that we are reaching toward.
So you guys are currently, and if I'm hearing that correctly, you guys are creating standard operating procedures. Is that correct?
That's right. We have it, but it's more like we're fine tuning it as we go.
It's interesting too, because we have, we've let people come to us, but then it was like we were needing another sales guy, and we felt like the leading of the Lord was we had to find this person, so we actually did like a LinkedIn, which is funny because it's somebody that Stephen and Jonathan had already met.
We already met
but he saw our ad, right?
Right.
And reached out, and he's he's amazing. This guy Bart, I mean, he brings a lot of value to our company.
Sure.
He's actually owned his own company for 12 years in Florida, successful, but he moved back here, and he kind of tried to start it here, even though God was telling him not to.
Yes.
And so it's just it's cool how God works. So it's just listen. It's not. I think if I look at one thing I've really learned, it's not one way or the other way.
Right.
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 It's not that. It's
both
which-
and.
Yeah.
It's
not
both.
either
It's
or.
both
It's
and.
both
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of things. Like that's been one of my biggest lessons.
Yeah.
Is both and.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be either or.
Yeah.
Don't get stuck in one
Right.
way or the other way, right? And I think
Yes.
that's been a big lesson for me. Definitely personally, is like, okay, it's funny too, because it's the same thing with systems and processes, right? Because he's a systems and processes guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's run and gun and do this
Yeah,
thing.
Let's flow and go.
Let's
He's
flow
flow
with
and
the
go.
river,
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
But we complement each other.
Yeah.
Because I keep him from getting stuck inside of that system, right? Because you
Yeah.
never want to get so tied or stuck inside of a system that you can't shift,
right.
right? But he also shows me the value of the system,
Yeah.
right? And staying inside of that. So it really does complement because it's not one way.
Yes.
I mean, I even feel the presence of God. It's not
Yes.
one way or the other way.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I agree, because we're the same way. He is definitely systems and
Yes.
has to have everything, in
I've
our
got the
more life.
bulldozer out. Think of it like this: you have land, you get the bulldozer out, and you start digging a really deep trench, and you know where it's got to turn and where it's got to go. Brandy opens the floodgates, and the waters come rushing through, and she goes, that bend down there. Yes, we can sort of straighten that out a little bit. It's an ebb and a flow together, and that's what makes business work so well. Is you have a team. Don't do it by yourself. If you do it by yourself, you're not going to see all the parts. You have a good team,
Yes.
and that's what helps.
Yeah, and I think that's, us running this business has allowed me to see that you do need a team to
Yes.
do it, because you can't do it by yourself.
100%.
And the systems, without the systems, it's really hard to. It's just a side hustle. So you do need the systems. There is value in the systems, and it does help and makes the team run well. I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I look at that like I call it the Chick-fil-A effect, right? I'm like, it's like, you go to one Chick-fil-A to the next Chick-fil-A to the next Chick-fil-A, you're going to get the same
That's right.
experience.
Except for there's one that's by me. I'm
for
not going to
Oakland
mention
Cartel.
where, but okay. I don't know what happened at this Chick-fil-A, but
I don't, they missed
the
training.
closest one to me,
Did we hit a
I'm
sore
not
spot?
sure
They
what's
missed
going
training
on there,
day.
okay?
No, I've been to the Chick-fil-A too.
No, he knows what I'm talking about,
It is
okay?
one Chick-fil-A out of there. So even no matter how, and that's actually a great parallel to everything that we're talking about, because even no matter how great everything is,
Yes.
Yes.
you're still going to have, and ultimately what it comes down to is the leadership of the head. And if that head is not submitted unto the Lord,
Yes.
Right.
then your flows are always going to get off track.
That's
right?
true.
The flow's going to go off track.
Right.
And if for whatever reason he's like starts putting money first before God, well, now we have an issue in our company.
Yeah.
And you're
If
going
he
to see
starts
it.
putting
Yeah.
and it starts to bleed down.
Yeah.
If he starts to put if he starts to put self first instead of others focused, then we're having another issue in our company, and it bleeds down. So it's the value of others focused and servant leadership.
Yeah.
So on that, what is servant leadership to you guys?
Man, that is, that's something I really had to learn. And I worked for a television company that they got a bad rap in certain areas, but they were really good about what you just mentioned, servant leadership. In other words, we were trained effectively as managers to be able to be, we're here, and Dr. Russ talks about this too. He's our pastor. And it's like, we're here, we're the foundation. All right. You look at a normal pyramid, CEO's at the top, everything else just kind of flows down to the workers here on the bottom. That's what the pyramid looks like. Well, this is more like an upside down pyramid. The CEO or the president is at the bottom. So my job role with Branjo Brands is, what can I do for you to make your job better? What can I put in place to help you? How, and then us together, how can we pay them well enough? We actually went from hourly pay, because hourly pay to me is just like clock in, clock out. We went to more percentage-based pay, which this went back to the coaching thing. It carries its weight. There's not an amount of money you can put on coaching to help. You know what I'm saying? It's going to pay off in the long run.
Yeah.
If you apply.
That's correct.
Because it's like anything. I have a lot of great coaches, but then again, I was like, anytime you listen, a lot of great coaches, but the coach to a player who's willing to listen and then apply.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you coachable?
Being
Yes.
coachable.
Are you coachable? Do you have a teachable heart? And honestly, for the hiring process, that is one of the questions I ask. Do you have a teachable heart? And tell me a moment where you were put in a position where you had to learn quickly and you were able to apply what you learned. And when you hear somebody's story, that's why I like face-to-face conversations. At this point, we're having a conversation. I can watch your body language, you know what I mean? But going back to servant leadership, that's where I am the support for the team, and Brandy and I are the support for the team. You guys are standing on us. So what can I do to better help you? And then we went to percentage-based pay too, where it's like you start out here, and as you progress, now we move you to here, and then we're going to move you to Rockstar if you stay with us. You know what I'm saying? And you watch people, now they're getting a percentage of what the job brings in. So now they want to see bigger jobs come in for the company because they know they're going to win too, and now it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's more what it was like. You create a culture of buy-in.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Create a culture where people are bought into wanting to see the company grow. And,
Right.
Talk about other companies out there that do profit sharing, other companies out there, and there's tons of different methods to
Right.
it. That's awesome that you guys do that, and also have the coaching around you, and then the courage to implement those things, because it's like anything, change can feel scary.
Yeah.
Until you do it, and then you're like, oh, God, I'm glad we did that.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm thankful too that we only have like a couple, because it would have been harder when you have a huge
big-
team to transition from what you've already been doing for 2 years to something different, right?
Yeah.
And so, and we even put a system in for the way we clean. So we do Airbnbs, but we also do residentials. And so this is where we've kind of put the system in where they have
An apron.
an apron they put on and hold all their stuff, and it makes everything where you have it on you, so you're not running back and forth to the caddy or whatever. So it makes it easier and faster. They call it speed
Efficiency,
cleaning, but
yeah.
it's a system. It's not you're just flying through to get things done. It's a system to help you be productive, and it really has helped. So that with the percentage base, I think has really helped our team, and I'm glad that it wasn't a huge team. Because it was a lot of changing there.
How did they respond at first?
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
Great. I mean, I after hearing some of the coaching people talk about how they, their team was, quite large, and they were like, I don't like these aprons, and she's like, give it 2 weeks. So I just started off with that. Let's give it 2 weeks, and she's been using it ever since. So I mean, they took it well, I believe,
Oh, yeah.
or she
Figure it.
did.
Yeah.
What is biggest victory? So would you say like so far as like biggest victory or the most satisfying part of the business? You kind of answer like either way, right? What's been just the part that you're like, this is awesome?
I think it's the joy of being able to bless others. Yes, they're coming in and they're working in the business, but it's the joy of, because we've had some of our people who have gone through either their husbands lost their job, and so they're like, man, so we're able to come in and say, okay, well, let's give them these two to kind of help boost their income. Now, see, because the Lord's given us this to steward. So to me, that's a victory to be able to bless other people through the works of their hands, because God is the one that gives us the ability to do work. And because I've been in places where work just gets piled on and there's no extra, and I know my family's struggling, they know, and they're just like, well, I'm sorry. No, let's not do that. So we come together and we say, no, let's pull from here and pull from here, because we know God's going to take care of us. So it's just been able to bless other people and clean homes on the client side. Clean homes, because now we're blessing them. Because once again, what do you do when you're in business? You see a problem, you become the solution. That's how you form an effective business. So people, when I get the 5-star reviews and the things come in, they're like, man, your team did a great job. Well, me and Brandy didn't go into that place.
Yeah.
So I passed that on to them, but like, hey, you guys did an excellent job. Miss whoever was really excited about their clean today. Being able to bless people on both fronts.
Yes. And I think, too, just for me, the biggest victory is being able to create something that is faith-based, that,
Yes.
it's not like, I mean, we've all had corporate jobs where, maybe the manager was rude or an attitude every day or whatever, but we're creating a space where it is God-filled and, they have the opportunity to share Jesus into people's lives and families. So I think that for me is the biggest victory.
Oh, yeah.
That it's created jobs. It's a Christian base. It may not sound like with Branjo Brands, but it is faith-based.
For me, it's like integrating the King and the Kingdom into business. So can you give me some practicals? Is there things that you guys, if it's as simple as, hey, we open up in prayer, again, you guys already mentioned a couple things like just being led by the Spirit about small changes or things that you need to do.
So, a couple things that we do is before the summer, because our summertime is the most, we have the most jobs because we do Airbnbs. So we have died down a little bit. During the winter, we usually have consistent monthly meetings and where we fellowship and pray. It's not just a business meeting, but we fellowship and pray and spend time with each other and get to know each other better.
That for us, yeah. And then, of course, they have the freedom, to pray with those. There are some clients that have been elderly, some have been sick, and our staff is really good to even pray with them. It's not just about cleaning homes, it's about, I just say, touching hearts and touching lives while we're there in any mode, you know what I'm saying, that you possibly can.
Yeah, it's really fun. Because that's how we do things too. And we moved into an office about 3 weeks ago, and just the space that's actually created for us all to come together, at the same time, like the Lord sent in us, we were looking for one sales guy we ended up with 3. It's kind of funny how that works, but only one of them came through the ad. The other 2 were just like,
it's been a lot of fun.
And, but it's actually created this, and, all 3 of those sales guys have all just been like, the atmosphere here is so different.
Yeah.
Right? It's like creating that culture of the Father's heart.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and I think all of them said it, like, you actually care about me.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they can actually sense it. You're not just caring about me for, like, what I can do or how well I can perform, but you're actually concerned with me as a person.
Yeah.
And it's funny, and that care has actually led to having to make some really tough decisions.
Yes.
For some people,
Yeah.
but when you're always, because that's my default. You can ask Stephen, is always like, what's the love move, right? What is the love move here? And sometimes that's like a difficult move, because there's always times where it's like, if this isn't the right fit for somebody, for our company, it's not the right fit for them either.
Right.
And I think really like knowing that, right? Where it could be like hard in the beginning, but you then realize like, man, this is, because we just made a shift in our company. Stephen went to sales manager, and our guy that was sales manager went to project manager. And, it was a tough transition, but the peace that came with that, and just actually now having 2 people that are flourishing so much more in those roles, you know what I mean? They're both so, like, Stephen is just very gifted as a sales manager. I feel like he's just had years of training, right, to do it. He has
Like, a lot of business coaching.
Sometimes it's annoying at times. I'm not gonna lie.
He's gonna be like, dude, do you not ever sound like a book?
I know.
I've tried my whole life.
Too corporate.
Like, dude,
Calm it down.
Sorry, I came out.
That goes to the ebb and
So
flow.
my brother used to. My brother would always say this one growing up. He's like, "Do you always speak like a fortune cookie?" I was like, I don't mean to, man. I was like, it just kind of comes out.
Yes.
What you see, what you get. Hate to say it. He's like, you're doing it again. I'm like, all right, sorry.
You're doing it again.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
But, yeah, is there anything else that you guys just have on your heart that you just want to share? Just can be even just personal story, anything before we wrap up here. Just anything on your heart.
What I would say to anybody who's watching or listening to this podcast, I would say, if it is on your heart to start your own business, and it's been something that you've wanted to do, just follow the Lord. He is the one that leads and guides you. And like I said, I had 23 years of broadcasting experience. Like a cleaning business was not on my radar. Like that was not something I said, hey, this is a goal for later in life. What happened? What happened? And is that we followed the Lord in it. We started with photography. We knew, I had to do something. We had to create work, but it was God's plan. And what I'm saying is you just listen to the Lord and follow Him. He is the one that brings the opportunities. But step out. Don't be afraid to step out. Don't be afraid. Fear is what is gripping a lot of people while they don't do a lot of things. Take that first step. The Lord is going to meet you there in that step. Right. And just walk it out if that's what He's asking you to do. That's just a little encouragement. I just kind of had that on my heart for somebody that's watching this or listening.
Yeah, I love that because I think I've said that to a lot of people. Like, don't let fear dictate your life, right? Or the unknown, right? Yeah. Which is essentially, well, what if it doesn't work out? That's okay.
Well,
just get up and do it again.
Yeah. I think that's a great one because you speak to a lot of process-oriented people, right? I was like somebody who can't see the next step. Well, God never calls us to clearly see the next step.
That's right.
It's just like, I am here with you. You just keep going. Right.
And even with us, like, our whole marriage has been a faith journey. So there are many times God has called us to step out, and we've just done it, and it's looked foolish to some, right? And we've always tried to figure it out. Even the season we're in now, this time I said, all right, God, I'm not going to try to figure it out. You said, do this. We're going to do it. We stepped into it. That's right. You said, move to Alabama. We didn't know what that looked like. Had we not moved to Alabama, we wouldn't have had the money to start the business.
And we wouldn't have met y'all.
We wouldn't have met you guys.
That's right.
That's right.
And we have similar stories. In a sense that, like, God has called us to do some things that didn't make sense to anybody else.
That's right.
Yes.
But we said yes.
Yes.
And, I look at where that's brought us, and it's thankful for the yes, and at the same time, I'm like, man, I'm just thankful God gave me the grace to say yes.
Yes, because a lot of people don't say yes, because of the fear. And so, I am thankful that we said yes to everything, and, our business is flourishing and growing because of it.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
That's really awesome.
Just want to say thank you guys so much for just coming and being part of this and just sharing your heart, like really just appreciate you guys and really who you are, who you are as people. Like, it just, anybody that has the opportunity to work with you is just blessed, very blessed.
You guys.
So
we do love you guys. We definitely, I'm praying and believing that. Yeah. Also, this next season, I'm just seeing it now. Like, the Lord's shifting these things in place for the position of scalability, right? For it to grow up and into something. But what you got to do in the early, you got to get the right foundation. You got to
that's right.
Get all these things together. The soil, you're doing all the things here early on to watch it just grow up. And, built on the right foundation, and God's just gonna blow it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in a bad way. Not actually gonna blow up the building or anything.
In a good way.
Yeah, a good blow up.
It's a good blow up.
Just excited for you guys, and thank you guys for being here.
Hey, thank you guys.
Yeah, and just for you guys, I think that the first couple of years is a struggle, right? And that's where you're laying the foundation, and God's going to bless you guys as well. You just keep plowing the ground, pioneering the way, and it's just going to be a blessing. If God called you to it, He's going to get you through it, and it's going to flourish. And they say it takes 10 years to really be prosperous in a business. Well, I'm calling shorter time than that. But the first couple of years, even for us, it was hard. But you begin to see the prosperness, however you say that word, in that by plowing the ground and pioneering something that others wouldn't do.
Yeah.
And honestly, ours has been pretty great. Really, I was like, we've had our moments for sure.
We've had
so
fun.
Much. Yeah, we've had so much fun doing
I
it.
think,
and like each stage has just been like, all right, new obstacle, let's keep going.
Yeah.
It's like in our perspective of God brings it to us.
Yeah.
And we have Him, we have a team, we have each other, and the desire to just keep on wanting to grow and get better for the sake of at the end of it for us, right? It's like, why do we do this? And we're seeking to bring just like a genuine love into people's homes,
yes,
and then show them that there are contractors in the roofing industry that genuinely care.
Yeah. Yeah.
That genuinely care about you as an individual, your situation, and then helping you through that process.
Amen.
All right, well, got to wrap it up here. So thank you for joining in Kingdom Business Conversations, where leaders are always learning.
Part 4?
Part 4, 5, wherever we are.
Whatever
We're in
I think we're
episode,
on part 4.
episode 4, episode 5.